We only have about 35 minutes today, so what I want to do is go over maybe a couple of important novel labs, but then also maybe a novel way to look at things. And so, once again, a little bit of brief time today, but let's get at it. So this is the typical person that comes into your office. Once you engage in this world of integrative medicine or functional medicine or functional integrative metabolic medicine, right? Whatever the label is, we get to this point where somebody comes in and they bring their 3-ring binder in with you. They've been to everyone and they go, I really think I have fibromyalgia, but my one doctor says it's not fibromyalgia, it's Lyme, but my other doctor says it's not Lyme and fibromyalgia. It's really that I have chronic candida, but I really don't have chronic candida. I think I've got food allergies, but even though I have food allergy, I think I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and then somebody told me my microbiome's off, but I heard you can help me. Right? Isn't that kind of what we end up with? We end up with this gooey mess. And a long time ago, I put this metabolic pathway model together because I had to teach it. And really what I try to get across are some easy things to first understand, which is if you look across the top, what is the sum total of what activates our metabolism? Well, first we know that epigenetics are incredibly important. The more we realize that, that first 6 months of infant's life, if they're not breastfed, if they're a C-section, if the microbiome gets off because they've been hit with antibiotics or are on PPIs, their D-lactate levels are high, right? From the very start, they have an immune activation, right? But if once we get past birth, what influences us? Well, there's diet, right? And of course, it's very popular now to do a paleo diet, although, nobody's really going out and killing animals and dragging them back into their kitchen. And so it's kind of a metro paleo diet. But then we hear about, well, no, it's not that. It's a vegan diet. It's not a vegan diet. It's a 40-30-30 diet. No, it's not that. It's a food elimination diet. It's a 7-day detox plan. It's this, it's that, right? The reality is that we have a variety of diets that are out there that people engage in. Some of them are going to push them towards health, and some push them towards a metabolic disaster or a train wreck, right? So we know a high saturated fat, high refined sugar, low fiber diet creates more endotoxemia. That's fair, right? And so we have to try to eliminate that. So what's the next thing? Next thing is drug therapy. I've spent the last 20 years doing database collection and education on the metabolic effects of drug therapy as it relates to drug-induced nutrient depletion. So, if I get put on hydrochlorothiazide as my first step, which was the former first step before the recent guidelines got put out that finally said use ACEs and ARBs first. But if I use hydrochlorothiazide for that Med-S person who is just now at that pre-hypertensive, pre-diabetic, 135/90, and they're not really watching what they're eating, and their only exercise they get is getting to the chicken wing shop, they are going to get put on hydrochlorothiazide. Well, what was the problem with that? Well, the problem is that hydrochlorothiazide depletes magnesium, and when you read the side effect list, oh, wait a second, it increases your risk of diabetes. That's the perfect drug to give a Med-S person, right? We all know the epidemiology. We know the studies on magnesium. Dr. Klein just mentioned magnesium, but you realize even the NIH has said the single biggest nutrient deficiency that's related to the development of diabetes and metabolic syndrome is magnesium. So when I have drugs that deplete magnesium and I give them to pre-diabetics, what do I expect? That also depletes CoQ10 and potassium and zinc too. All right? So the point being is, you know what the person gets when they walk into a pharmacy? They get a little sticker on there that says, eat a banana or drink a glass of orange juice. Another perfect piece of advice for a Med-S person. Right? So obviously diet, drugs are important. Exercise, it used to be this thing of you're all a bunch of couch potatoes and get off the couch and start training. Now what I see, because I work with a lot of people, even in the fitness industry, we actually evaluated over 200,000 lives through a fitness chain. People are overtraining. You work a 12-hour day. You get up 6 to 6. You're at 6 to 6 in your office. You're doing what you can. You go to the gym. You get in your yoga class. You get in the Pilates class. You get into the combination yoga Zumba Pilates class, which really wears you out. Then you got to get onto the weight circuit. Then you try to get, right? Then I got to do, oh, wait a second. What happens when I immune activate? right? When I train at a higher heart rate for an extended period of time, I'm going to have a problem with my immune response, especially if